For the first time in more than 5.5 years, we finally tonight have a few new answers to a question that has loomed over Indiana and over the town of Delphi. Who killed Abby Williams and Libby German?
From the end of the bridge to, you got to go through. Now, I believe that the bodies were found about 50.
Born from a family's grief and determination. In April of 2020, Army soldier Vanessa Guillen went missing while stationed at one of the largest military installations.
That little music in the background, it goes, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious."
Right.
Knew about it or was there. He's as guilty as the person who committed it.
Chilling details in the arrest of a suspected serial killer caught before he could strike again.
They dropped the ball, man. They said he went AWOL, and that he was a deserter, and nobody went to look for him.
Today is not a day to celebrate. But the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder.
Like I said, we're going back. We were asked last time to kind of talk about the food, the grub truck video, and kind of give our perspective of it. The press release from the police department, it indicated that they're still trying to put pieces together from that night. Does that worry you at any point or at any bit that they're still trying to put those pieces together?
It's been over 5 weeks since little Kaylee Anthony vanished. Her mother, Casey, has been arrested for lying to police. She's being held without bail.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000. It still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to The Drunken Turkey Show, your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show, our mystery show, and we got some updates for everybody. I'm your host, Daniel J. Alongside with me, as always, are my good buddies and friends, Jaime G and Big Blue. Jaime, how you doing tonight? Drinking with us?
Not yet, man. I'll probably have to take a break and go get my bottle. Totally forgot now that you mentioned it. But I'm doing good, man. I'm stoked that they have somebody arrested. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's crazy, man. Like, this was somebody out of the blue. Somebody, I hate to say, Richard Allen-esque, where nobody was looking in that direction, and somebody comes up. Lawnmower Man says the SWAT broke into his home like at 3 a.m. and he broke into the students. Poetic justice. Big Blue, how you doing tonight? I know you're not drinking. You working, right?
Yes, sir. I got to work tonight, so I'm not drinking. I got my water, agua fresca. I wish it was agua fresca. Agua de melon sounds delicious right now.
Oh yeah, it does, man. First and foremost, before we get into everything, while we're still trying to let folks get into the live chatting, folks coming in, I want to ask you guys first and foremost. I know we did a show on it earlier, and we kind of did our knee-jerk reactions to it. What were your first thoughts when you got the news or you heard the news that there was an arrest made? We'll start off with you, Jaime.
Dude, it caught me off guard, man. Like I said, and I didn't think they were gonna make an arrest like today, especially because like it never coincides with the celebrations of the victim. You know what I mean? On the arrest being made, but like I said earlier, it's like a bittersweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Big Blue? What were your thoughts about this situation?
I was excited, man. Like, I didn't want it to go to be a cold case, like a lot of the cases that we go to after a certain time, you know.
Yeah,
I'm glad the police worked and they found the guy. So
for sure. Yeah, it was. For me, there's something I wasn't expecting to happen today. I should have followed the clues a little bit closer, and we kind of touched on it, or we were saying it sounds like they got somebody in mind. It looks like they're just trying to locate the guy. Thank you so much, David McCurley. McCurley. We appreciate it with a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I was shocked, about it. I was expecting, we said this early. We said this early in the investigation. We talked about when we tried to profile this guy, we said that he's probably an awkward guy, somebody who's not in the circle. Enon Harsh kind of perked our ears a little bit because he kind of fit that description. We talked about somebody who was over the age of 24, 22, somebody who probably recently graduated or is probably in there a while. And then we kind of got caught up in the JD talk. I think everybody did, you know what I'm saying? But initially, when we were still, thinking that, JD wasn't a suspect due to the fact that Jack D, wasn't a suspect due to the fact that, the police had ruled him out early. And, we were trying to follow that narrative saying, hey, you know what? They ruled him out. That's probably for a reason. They got good enough reason to do so. But as time progressed and there wasn't an arrest, it just kind of seemed like, well, maybe they missed something. You know what I'm saying? And I think what it was basically, they had to find the guy. And just to kind of tell everybody what we're going to be going through this guy's life. From what we understand and know, we have some videos and some articles from friends of him. We're also going to look at the probable cause affidavit. We've been able to pull that up. It's highly redacted and not much on there, but we're going to look into that.
Yeah.
And we're going to look at what led to police finally arresting the suspect. So we got a lot to go into. Thank you. Xana Shoot.
Thank you.
$10 super chat. We appreciate everybody that donates. We appreciate everybody that supports the show. Please hit that like and subscribe buttons. Let's see. You guys did an excellent job keeping things level-headed. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it. And so we're going to go in through all those things. Let's start off with that right now. First thing foremost, let's look into the probable cause affidavit. This is your affiant is Trooper Justin M. Leary at the Pennsylvania State Police. Troop since 2009. I have served as detective with the Xana County District Attorney's Office, a special agent with the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General, and a task force officer of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and currently as trooper with the Pennsylvania State Police, Trooper N Vice Unit. Throughout my career, I've conducted hundreds of criminal investigations, including numerous homicide investigations. Your affiant, Trooper Bryan V. Knoll of the Pennsylvania State Police, Troop N Criminal Investigations Assessment Officer, and this kind of goes into his background. This is where it gets good. It says, on Thursday, December 30th, 2022, the Pennsylvania State Police were assisting the Moscow Police Department from Moscow Police Department from Moscow, Idaho, Idaho State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation with a criminal homicide investigation. On the same date, Bryan C. Kohberger was taken into custody in Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County, Pennsylvania, based upon an active arrest warrant for the murder of in the first degree issued through Moscow Police Department and Latah County Prosecution Office in Idaho. The arrest warrant was confirmed through NCIC with the NCIC number, and it's signed off. There's not really much there, in my opinion, guys. It's just basically stating that they had an arrest warrant and that they were going to, effectively go into the arrest warrant. I totally agree with this, T-Ranch. Here it is. It goes, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This is the docket. This is kind of gives us some information, and it allowed us to kind of figure out a few things about this young man. So they told us where he lived as far as city and state. So with that information, I've been able to find his parents' address. Not much into it. He's been charged with 4 first-degree murders and 1 burglary of a habitation first degree, which basically is that first degree. Basically all that is just an enhancement of the of burglary, right? So in the state of Texas, burglary is of a habitation is like I believe it's a second-degree felony, but it's enhanced to a first-degree felony if you commit an assault. Anything above that, a theft. I mean, not a theft, an assault. The intent to commit an assault, things of that nature, and it's enhanced to first degree. So this is one of those types of situations. Now, we got a couple of pictures of him from his life. Before we go into it, Jaime, Blue, do you have any comments about probable cause affidavit or that arrest warrant or that docket, his arrest sheet?
No, unfortunately, it's really redacted, you know.
Yeah.
I can hear
Yeah.
There's an echo.
an echo.
Oh, sorry about that. What about now?
Yeah, that sounds good. What's it called? Yeah, like unfortunately that it was really redacted in the news conference too. It didn't really go into much detail at all.
No, you're right. So here's a younger picture of him. He did find himself into some. He started taking drugs. Heroin was something that he was a user of. Went to rehab. This was probably prior to he was heavier. We have some friend statements that indicated that he was on that narcotic and that he lost a lot of weight. This is from his yearbook, Bryan Kohberger. This is a yearbook not too long after that. So as you can see, he lost a lot of weight. Apparently, he also got into kickboxing or something like that.
Yeah.
Here's an updated picture of him. Just looks like a normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but from all accounts, I believe he was pretty weird and awkward, socially awkward, from what I understand.
Which was that one? How old is that picture?
I don't recall, but it was a while ago. It wasn't anytime new. I think this was in his early 20s. So, you know, what do y'all see the guy that what do y'all see? I mean, he looks like your average guy, don't he?
No, yeah. That's the worst part, man. Like I said before, like you got monsters out there and they're in human form, you know, and you can't tell them apart from regular people. It's all
right.
It's all, you know, what they have in their mind, you know, to do these kind of crimes. You never know who you're standing next to, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, he was apparently he'd only been in the area here recently. He hasn't been in the Moscow, Washington area very long. This has actually been confirmed to have been his post on Reddit, I believe, looking for ex-cons, and it states, "Hello, my name is Brian. I am inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. In particular, the study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense with the emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. In the event your most recent offense was not one that led to a conviction, you may still participate. Additionally, surveys are included to the open-ended section as best to understand your unique traits. The study should take about 15 to 20 minutes. So, you know, I'm not saying that, what do you call it? Also, guys, if you guys are going to message something, let's use the private chat. That I don't know if somebody messaged on Facebook, but that one went through my ear. So that kind of tells me that he was looking to find something, you know, he was trying to understand and looking for that emotion and that feeling. What do you think? Jaime, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, man. Sometimes like people get infatuated with these type of crimes. People get infatuated with serial killers and they follow their history, and then they get this, you know, the urge to try to either copycat and try to find out how they feel when actually this crime is committed. You know, the adrenaline rush and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. And what about you, Big Blue? What do you think?
I just want to put out there, somebody is made a profile with his name, is trying to jump on our chat, jokingly say stuff, but he's in police custody. He's no way he's got a chat with us.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And this is from the university that he had just graduated from with his bachelor degree and his he completed his graduate studies. So this is out of DeSales University, and this is their their release here recently. It states on Friday, December 30th, DeSales University learned of the arrest of Bryan Kohberger in connection with the incident that occurred with the University of Idaho students. Kohberger received a bachelor's degree in 2020 and completed his graduate studies in June 2022. As a Catholic Celsian community, we are devastated by this senseless tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and families in this difficult time. So in June 2022, this college or university is located about an hour away from where his parents live. And so, in fact, let's bring that up real quick. This is where his folks live, way over here. And so that university is about an hour away from here. And so he recently was in the Moscow area. Apparently in August, he had received a citation in Moscow, Idaho, for driving without a seatbelt. So he wasn't there very long. He had just been there. Man, I mean, do you think that kind of puts a little bit of a ding in the idea that he knew these people very well? He'd just been there for a few months.
Yeah, definitely. Right. That's why most of us didn't even know about him. You know what I mean? They just came out of the blue. No pun intended. Yeah.
And so apparently he was a weird guy. We'll go through a couple of things. The first thing that we're going to read here is he had like some kind of weird OCD eating tendencies. This is from an aunt that was married into the family. She says that speaking to the Post Friday exclusively, a former aunt of Bryan Kohberger said his dietary restrictions were very, very weird. It was above and beyond being vegan, said the aunt. He declined to be identified, but said that she was married into the family. His aunt and uncle had to buy new pots and pans because he would not eat from anything that had ever had meat cooked in them. He seemed very OCD. And yeah, so that was what basically she was saying about him, that he was very odd. Let's see, I think we have another somebody else kind of saying the same thing about him, that he was a pretty odd guy. But here's what we were able to find. Michael Kohberger and Marianne Kohberger, they live at 1119 Layman's Den Drive in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. This is his parents' house. This is who his relatives are. Amanda Kohberger, Bryan Kohberger's his son. Marianne is his mom. Melissa Ann. I'm guessing one of these two are the sisters, and we just got an article referencing a poem. And we'll go over that here in a second. This is the mom. She's in her 60s, lives in Albright, Pennsylvania. Dad, Michael Francis Kohberger. And so, we'll listen to that in a second. You know what? Let's listen to this first. This is from one of the friends. One of his friends. I'm going to unmute it.
So I'm not sure who this is going to reach out to, but regarding the case of the 4 Idaho students that were slain and the arrest that was made, I used to be friends with Bryan Kohberger during my middle and high school years. And then before anyone comes at me and says that I'm just running for clout, I'm not. I have pictures that I will show you. I have screenshots that I will show you. I have yearbook pictures that I show you. I went to school with the kid. I was friends with him. I wouldn't make something like this up. I am just in absolute shock right now. I was heading to lunch when my mom called me, and immediately I knew something was off because I have the type of family that we don't call each other. So if someone does call someone, we know something's bad. She called me and asked me about the murders. I didn't know where she was going with it until she said that it was Bryan Kohberger. And naturally, I freaked out and called about 8 of my friends. My brother was really good friends with him. My other friend, Brandon, was really good friends with him. I'm going to have a picture of him with him on the green screen as well. I'm shaking still. But anyway, let me show you. This is Brandon, the one I was just talking about. It's his wife, Brianna, and that's me. This was back in 2017. Obviously, that's Bryan. Still has the dead face that it's the eyes. I don't know. But when I spoke to him back in 2017, he was clean. He was a heavy heroin user back in high school. And it was just nice to see the kid clean up. And at that time, he said he was doing security detail. I believe it was out of school is what he told me. But he seemed like he was better. Obviously, that wasn't true. Here's another picture from a party that we had at Brandon's house. That's Bryan there. He used to be a bigger kid as well. But again, that's him. And then at the same wedding, I'm here, but he's back there. He was sitting at the same table as me and my mother. But he is back there enjoying a drink. I was sitting right next to him. We talked. He seemed fine. My mom sent me the old school yearbook. That was him. Bryan Kohberger. That's him. He went to Pleasant Valley. Graduated with, I think, my friend Christopher, a year younger than me. This is when he nonchalantly decided to make me drive him around the Poconos for heroin, and I had no idea. I thought I was just doing a nice deed because he needed something, and it turns out that he was getting heroin. Sorry, I'm like, my voice is shaking. I might make a part 2. I probably have to. I don't have a 6-minute feature. I only have a 3-minute feature. I also talk really fast, so I'm sorry. Okay.
So I have the part 2 version of it too, or the second feature. We'll listen to that here in a second. First, I want to answer JJ Sykes says, any truth to the rumor that he knew the neighbors? Not that we could verify. I heard that rumor as well. I heard a rumor that he was friends with Hunter's sister, and there was absolutely nothing that we could find that made that relatively true. Based on all accounts, this guy was a socially awkward guy. He was new to the area. I think he probably saw them from afar and stalked them. I mean, that's my theory on it. Mm-hmm. What about you guys? What do you think?
Yeah, I heard the same thing, that he was friends with was it Emily?
Yeah.
And but I think they, if anything, they might have gone to the same school, but that's pretty much it. But I don't know if they were actual friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and he was we found this also. He was a security guard at the high school that he worked at. Apparently, he saved somebody from having an asthma attack or something. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, man.
So let's watch this second part, and then we'll discuss it. Oh wait! Also, I want to thank those 2 guys for the super chat, JJ Syke and Trey Gray. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Truly appreciative.
More on this. I don't really know what to say in this situation because it's so fucking crazy. I'm not trying to put any names out there. Like, I'm not trying to get like my friends involved, but it's crazy when you sit there and you realize that the person that was in your parents' home, in your friend's home, you were in their car, you were in his house. I knew his mom. She was a substitute teacher at Pleasant Valley. It's crazy to think that, I don't know. It's again, he obviously no longer has a Facebook, but they still allow you to filter old messages. Here's something. I invited him to a party back in 2014. He seemed fine. It's crazy just what can switch in someone's brain. Again, after the whole heroin incident, I didn't know that he was literally making me drive to get him heroin until Brandon told me. So I messaged him a pretty rotten message just because I was pissed. I didn't know there was fucking heroin in my car. But this was, again, 2013. I was 2 years, graduated from high school. He then said he was in rehab. He would randomly message me after that. This is him mentioning he wanted to study criminal justice. again, back in 2013, he was already hoping to do that. And then that obviously fell through because he said he went to rehab. But apparently he went back at it. And again, in 2017, that's when it seemed like everything was fine and he was doing great for himself. So it's kind of crazy that this fucking happened. But yeah, this is also talking about, hanging out with Bryan, chilling with them. And then Brandon said they're like not friends anymore. And this happened a lot because of what he was doing, his addiction. And he had some anger issues. I know he did kickboxing to kind of help with that. But again, I wish I had more pictures. I'm sure I have plenty from MySpace days, but for some reason I cannot get onto my MySpace. When I click to search, it just gives me like broken photos. And I'm sure I had more pictures with him because, again, I did a lot with him. We hiked a mountain by my parents' house together. He mentioned that in one of the messages I had with him. Again, I'm so sorry if this is really fast. I don't really know what to say. This never happened to me before. I really didn't have old friend of a murderer on my 2022 bingo list. So yeah, that's him.
So first and foremost, thank you, Austin, for your $5 super sticker. We appreciate it so much.
Sure, thank you.
That's a lot to handle right there. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, man, it just goes to show you, like I said, you never know who's around you. You don't know what kind of thoughts people have and how far they can take their fantasies.
Exactly, man. That's it's pretty insane. What about you, Big Blue? What are your thoughts on Casey's words, her what she's talked about as far as what it goes to when it comes to Bryan?
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought he was just a smart dude that went to school. Didn't have any drug issues. You know what I mean? That he pulled himself together for a while to get those degrees because it's not easy.
No, it's not. JJ Sykes says, I've been confident since day one that somehow drugs were involved. I think that'll come out and perhaps a schizoaffective disorder. I mean, if this guy at one point was doing hard drugs that way and maybe he lapsed, maybe he was selling it, maybe that's how he got into the area. What do y'all think about that? I mean, I think somebody had reported that there was some drugs that went on in that vicinity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about that?
It could be, man. It could be. As long as we don't know like the actual motive, because they didn't tell us in the press release, then we're gonna have to wait until. But I think what is it, January 3rd?
Yeah.
I'm muted. Yeah, January 3rd. And thank you again, JJ Sack, for that $5 super chat.
I think, I want to know more a little bit about earlier when 9mm called us, and she did verify that that the girl's dad verified that it was Jack D at the bar, but the guy that got kicked out that was threatening the girls, I wonder if it was him. I wonder if that's how it started.
It may have been. May have been. Let's see. Let's read this. This is from Nick McCullen. This is a friend of Kohberger in high school. Yeah, he's 26. It says Kohberger friend in high school and vocational school, and had been following the Moscow incident. Told the Daily Beast that he was floored to see Kohberger and had been arrested. He described Kohberger as a down-to-earth member of his friends group who was overweight when they graduated junior year, but at the start of senior year, Kohberger was thinner than a rail and turned aggressive, he said. He'd also picked up a new hobby. It says taking boxing classes. And so perhaps that's when he picked up his habit. I'm pretty sure that'll lead to some weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
He always wanted to fight somebody. He was bullying people. We started cutting him from our field group because he was 100% a different person, McCullen said. Asked what might have contributed to the change that summer, McCullen said, we have no idea. McLaughlin, went to say that he and Kohberger would spend half the school day at Pleasanton Valley High before heading to Monroe County's vocational school, where they took classes related to heat and air conditioning work. He said Kohberger was also took criminal justice courses to potentially become a cop. McLaughlin said the friendship ended when Kohberger began putting moves on his girlfriend. he was like reaching out to her saying, I can get us a bottle and we can hang out tonight.
Can you imagine if he actually got to the point where he became a cop?
Oh gosh.
You know the terrible things that would have happened.
Yeah. It wouldn't be good.
Also, his dad works as an HVAC worker, right?
I believe so, and his mom is a substitute teacher. So, like we talked about that earlier, you know, is probably somebody not from the same social class, somebody who's awkward, you know, not in the circle, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate this. If I take out my hat, I look more like him too.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. So let's look at a couple of things real quick before we look at some more pictures as to, you know, where he came from and things of that nature. Let's look at this poem that that his sister wrote about the Uvalde massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's close to home. That Uvalde is like
it's 45 from where I'm at.
45 minutes from where Jaime is, probably about an hour and a half from where me and Blue are at.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does it actually show this poem?
Yes.
All right. Let me just read through the article and then we'll go forward. The mother of Bryan Christopher Kohberger, the 28-year-old man arrested Friday in connection with the University of Idaho quadruple homicide, sent a letter to her local Pennsylvania paper last summer that included a poem about the Uvalde school massacre. The poem was written by Kohberger's sister, Melissa Kohberger, a mental health therapist in New Jersey. I found her. In Facebook, searching the family. I found his parents too, because I found somebody in New Jersey with her last name.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're still looking for her, right? Remember?
Yeah, we were looking for her, and we were looking for pictures of this family. Mm-hmm. I found pictures of the dad, the mom, all of them. Then, yeah, we'll put that out before the end of the show. We'll put it out there before the end of the show. I found them. I was like, man, this is New Jersey. I was like, how far is Scranton, Pennsylvania, and this area from New Jersey? And it was like maybe 2 hours away because I found their family and they had connections to New Jersey and New York. And I was like, maybe it's not. But all right, let's go for it. The suspect's mother, Mary Ann Kohberger, 62, of Albright, Pennsylvania, wrote a letter to the Quantico Record that was published June 2nd, less than 2 weeks after the Uvalde shooting at the elementary school that left 17 students and 2 teachers deceased. And this is the I'm guessing the poem. It goes, as I sat this morning reeling from yet another school shooting. Also, guys, this is probably going to get demonetized. So if you guys can hit the like button definitely. And the subscribe button, that will help out this content get out to further people because and thank you, Aaron, for becoming our newest member. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Aaron Sweeney.
This definitely going to demonetize. That's going to limit the audience. So to help out the algorithm, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button for us. All right. So as I sat this morning reeling from yet another school shooting, I found myself wrestling with the actions need to be taken to stop all the madness, Kohberger wrote. What is the answer? Gun control measures, mental health intervention. Then I received a message from my daughter who works as a mental health therapist in New Jersey. She shared a poem she had written while in the greatest depths of despair. It shook me to my core and I felt the need to share it. The poem by 31-year-old Melissa Kohberger reads, bereft of their laughter, there is now not a sound as we lower our children into the ground, small hands and feet, buried 6 feet deep, into the earth of the world that failed them. And so I guess that's it, right? Yeah. Just kind of weird, man.
The irony of that, man. Like, I know it wasn't her per se, but for that to happen with her brother, it's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%, man.
You can't blame the actions of a brother to a sister.
It's just
they're related by blood and it happened.
Yeah, that just sucks, man.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Blue. You're absolutely right. You really can't. And so it's not the family's fault or the sister's fault. It's just
Yeah.
irony and odd timing.
Hmm.
But
It's like Dahmer's dad. You know what I mean? Like he didn't know his son was doing what he was doing, and still loved him to the end because told
Yeah,
his
but that's the thing, man. Like when it's blood, like even though they done horrendous things, sometimes you just can't help but still, they're still gonna be your kid. You know what I mean, or your parent or whatever, whoever committed these crimes. It's hard. It's hard to like stop loving someone, right?
yeah, no, yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right. Let's see. All right, let's read this part. This is from NBC News. It says Kohberger, who most recently was living in an apartment in Pullman, Washington, appeared to have a keen interest in crime. He was listed as a PhD student at the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology in Washington State University, which is 10 miles west and just across the state line from the University of Idaho. Shortly after Kohberger's arrest was announced, WSU took down a graduate student page listing his name. Fellow WSU criminal justice grad student Ben Roberts said Kohberger came off as confident and outgoing, but also seemed like, and quote, he was always looking for a way to fit in. It's pretty out of left field, Roberts told the Associated Press. I had honestly just pegged him as being super awkward. Kohberger graduated from nearby DeSales University in 2020 with a degree in psychology and earned a master in the arts of criminal justice from DeSales in the spring. DeSales University said in a statement Friday. And that's just kind of what we had talked about earlier. And so so Jane C with the $5 super chat goes, is the link to his anonymous research survey still accessible? I don't believe so. I believe they took it down.
Yeah, I think so. I think they took it down.
Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So how did authorities narrow their search? Right? That's been the situation. That's been what everybody's trying to figure out. What led to the arrest? Now take this with a grain of salt because it is from CNN. I do have to say that. It says earlier this month, authorities asked the public for information about a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra they believed was in the immediate area of the crime scene around the time of the incident. An overwhelming amount of tips poured in after the call, police previously said. Investigators eventually narrowed their focus onto Kohberger after tracing ownership of that Elantra back to him. And so that car basically was the key, right? Based on this, right? According to two law enforcement sources briefed in the investigation, his DNA also matched the DNA that was recovered at the crime scene. Now, that tells me he cut himself, because if it was just touch DNA, I don't think that would be enough to get a warrant or any of those things. Thank you so much, Corey Davis, for the $5 super chat, saying he's not a big fan of the algorithm. Yeah, we aren't either. Trust us.
Thank you though.
Thank you. We appreciate it so much. So his DNA matched the DNA that was recovered at the crime scene. I highly doubt that that's touch DNA, just because, well, there was a lot of people in that house throughout, the summer and that semester. I would suspect there'd be a lot of DNA there. It would have to be DNA that was relative to the case and that they can prove was relative to the incident. And so my opinion, it would have to be something that couldn't have been put there, whether it was his DNA, maybe blood, sweat, things of that nature, mainly blood, or maybe he had a hair or something. It's been rumored that in the top floor where Maddie and Kaylee were found, that they were found on top of each other. And so if there was some of his DNA in between them, maybe perhaps that could be the key there. Go ahead.
Do you think it would be for the defensive wounds from one of the victims under their fingernails? Or it could be the other way around. They could have found DNA of the victims, in his car, right? Yeah.
But it says here, his DNA also matched DNA that was recovered at the crime scene. So this is, in my opinion, just solely his DNA there at the crime scene. So, according to the sources who have examined, the authorities believe Kohberger left the area and went to Pennsylvania after the crime. Thank you so much, Sam Rock, for your $5 super sticker. We have Aaron with a $2 super chat saying Happy New Year and what's your favorite kind of turkey call? We'll start off with you, Big Blue. What's your favorite kind of turkey call?
I don't really hunt turkeys, but I do have one turkey call in my hunting bag, and it's one of those that I just press because I'm not good with the little films under my mouth and stuff like that to call. So.
What about you, Jaime? What's your favorite turkey call?
Man, I really don't do any of that stuff. But if the bottle has the word turkey, that's my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite call is the drunk call. It don't sound like a turkey, but it's a gobbling along, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for your $2.
She put on there what kind of box calls they are: box call, mouth call, or slate. So yeah, I know the box one. I'm not a turkey hunter. There is some in Texas, but not really the places I've been to. They're more deer.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer out here and javelinas. So his DNA matched the ones that were recovered from the scene. They believe that he left the area and went to Pennsylvania after the crime. Now, that doesn't, do you think that means right after the crime or maybe the next day? You think he went back? You think he went back to his apartment, clean up, and then go home? What are your thoughts, Jaime?
That could be. I don't see him driving all the way out there. If he just committed these crimes and he has all this evidence on him. You know what I mean?
For sure. This is a surveillance team with the FBI had been tracking the suspect for several days in the area where he was arrested. The sources added, authorities kept Kohberger under surveillance while investigators from Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police, and the FBI worked with prosecutors to develop a sufficient probable cause for an arrest. Now, do you think that his education and his knowledge in criminal justice is a reason why it took them a little bit longer as well? They wanted to make sure that they had their T's crossed and their I's dotted. What do you think, Jaime?
I don't think him being criminology in a major, he had a master's, right?
He had a master's, and he was going on his PhD.
I don't think so, man. Man, you see other killers that take years upon years to get caught, and they don't have any of these criminology master's degrees and stuff. So I don't think that was the case. I think it was a case. It was just like they wanted to, like you said, they wanted just to make sure that they had a case where it was just like, hey, this is it, and you ain't gonna get away with it. You're gonna get convicted of it. You know what I mean?
That was in the police report a couple of weeks ago. Remember that we kind of read it and we're like, they said that they wanted something solid to be able to put somebody into.
They wanted a conviction.
Make a conviction, not just arrest under suspicion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Blue. And according to this, they've been watching him. They've been tailing him for a while. They had their eyes. They wanted to make sure everything was clear. I'm guessing that they wanted to make sure, and you see the word DNA was recovered there. I'm guessing that they had to wait for the DNA to come back.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I think I remember asking Blue a while back how long does it usually take for them to get a DNA result back. I can't remember. What was that? You said?
Honestly, I don't remember, but sometimes one of our listeners said they work in that kind of field, and they said sometimes it could be
a
couple days or a couple weeks, depending on what kind of DNA they're trying to get out, extract it from, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We have a $5 super chat from Queen of the People saying, "Happy birthday, Daniel J. Have a great day." Thank you. Awesome. My birthday is actually, it'll be at midnight tomorrow night. I'll leave it at that. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I look forward to having a good birthday. Everybody counts down for me. What can I say?
Right?
Whoa, Sandy McParsham coming in with a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Sandy. We appreciate you. Thank you, Queen of the People, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you guys. Somebody's stalking me. Let's see. This says here, Authorities kept Kohberger under surveillance while investigators from Moscow Department were getting sufficient probable cause for the arrest. And still, authorities want to hear from the people who may be able to shed more light on Kohberger. This is not the end of the investigation. In fact, this is a new beginning, La Tahoe County Prosecutor Bill Thompson said Friday. You all know the name of the person who has been charged with these offenses. Please get that information out there. Please ask the public, anyone who knows about the individual, to come forward. Report anything you know about him to help the investigators and eventually our office and court system to understand fully everything there is to know, not only about the individual, but what happened and why, Thompson added. Oh, wow. So we have some more super stickers coming in. We appreciate that so much. Pepe, I thought I showed it. Yeah, there you go. Pepe Longstocking coming in with a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If he was on heroin right now, he was on heroin in the past. He had gone to rehab, but we don't know if he's relapsed and had been on heroin when this happened. We don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so this is some good information, man. This tells us what led to the arrest, what they found, what pointed in his direction. There had to. I'm wondering how. They mentioned earlier that the sister was a therapist, right? A mental state therapist with the state of New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they would have her DNA on file.
That's what I was thinking. If he never only got the last time he got in trouble was just a ticket, right? Citation for not wearing his seatbelt, right?
Right.
And I wonder if they had his DNA in the system or anything, or did they use a family member to track him down?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But I know, like, just for one of my licenses that I gotta get, thoroughly fingerprinted at least every, 3 to 5 years to keep my license, man.
Yeah.
And I almost thought you were gonna say something else, man. Like, for real, he put put fingerprinted like kind of like in separate.
He did a little
sentences.
slow.
Yeah, he did a little slow, man. He kind of.
But I'm wondering if perhaps maybe. The sister who's worked with the state, maybe they have something on file on hers, and they were able to match his DNA because this guy was just arrested this morning.
3 o'clock. Well, 3 a.m., right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing if they took his DNA immediately and then they compared it, then that would be, one thing. But I'm thinking they may have had it before they arrested him. And if they had it before they arrested him, where did they get it from?
Well, I'm not sure about DNA, but like, say, maybe a fingerprint. He worked for a school, and I know when my ex worked at a school, they had to get federally fingerprinted also just to work there.
That's true.
Kind of measures.
Yeah, he was a security guard at the Pleasanton Valley High School. So, yeah, you're right. You're right, Blue. That's good. That's a good one. So I wonder if it's because of his profession, maybe because he was in the college as a. There's so many questions there. Let's see. There was one other thing. All right, here it is. So this right here, this article here, confirms the Reddit post where he was asking about, inviting participants, ex-cons, to come talk about their experience. And here it also says that he worked as a security guard in nearby Pleasanton Valley High School District, where he was credited with in 2018 with help saving the life of a hall monitor who was having an asthma attack. And so the thing that I wanted to point out on this article, though, was that it does confirm that post was him trying to facilitate ex-cons into, talking about their crimes and their feelings and thoughts throughout the experience.
Yeah, getting their insight.
Yeah, and so here's some other information that we found. This is from Brian Enton. He goes, I am told when Idaho quadruple homicide suspect Bryan Christopher Kohberger was in custody, he asked if anyone else was arrested. Told he had a quiet, blank stare. Now, given his experience in criminology and things of that nature, do you think that he said that to throw people off. It was said that, or has been reported, after his arrest, there was supposedly they were going to do some cleaning, and they stopped the cleaning of that house. Do you think maybe perhaps they're looking at a second person? You think there is a second person?
I mean, I think he's been watching the news and people speculating about other people being involved, especially because you got one person that might have done this to four victims. You know what I mean? So maybe he's trying to play a card where he can, make this make it longer than it's supposed to be, just so he can wait it out for a while. And because a lot of people are serial killers or just convicts, they do tend to lie a lot. Some people lie about the crimes they committed just to extend their stay or whatever.
I think,
for sure.
The other reason I'm thinking he might have asked that question was because earlier, I'm not sure if it's true, we haven't found out who the owner of the white car is, but people were saying it was his sister. So maybe he was worried about her getting arrested if it was her car that he was in.
I think everything that I read and saw that it was his.
It says, and they're registered to him and everything? Okay.
Well, I mean, it could have been registered to his parents or something. I'm not sure who it was registered to, but he was the primary driver of that vehicle.
Yeah. And then the other part that I thought that, well, maybe they got his DNA from, there was that one crime scene photo that we saw where, like, there was a handprint on a window. I said, maybe they got his fingerprint off of there, you know what I mean? And you can see them looking at it.
Okay, so genetic genealogy, so by a sister, brother, family member. Okay. Let us know which article has been reporting that. We haven't been able to find that. So this is video from WSO police officer driving near his apartment complex. And so this is the area in which he lives in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really showing anything. Let me move to the next one. This one is police officer. They're canvassing the neighboring neighbors. He's talking to a neighbor right there. Or maybe even that's his house. Let me see. It says, walked up to the door, appeared to have a conversation with someone inside, and then drove off. So that's at his place.
Ooh. I wonder. I don't know if there's been reported if they found a weapon or not.
I don't think they have. I don't think they found it yet.
I wonder if he was collecting them or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why that specific weapon? You know what I mean? Like usually, a lot of people use kitchen knives more than a keyboard. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right. You're right. All right. So. JJ Sykes' rumor saying he was a libertarian / vegan BS. Well, there was a couple of things that said he was vegan. I don't know about the libertarian part, but that he was vegan, that doesn't make a difference. So
yeah, I don't have much against the vegans, but a vegan cauliflower pizza is just BS to me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is Standor Fall 15 for the $5 super sticker, and thank you JJ Syke for the $2
thank you
comment. We appreciate it.
I think I saw that on the Daily Beast where they did say that he was a libertarian and a vegan.
Maybe that's possible.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes a difference.
No.
This is his apartment from what I understand. G201. This is what I guess who they were talking to was maybe a roommate of his. That looks like where they were at.
That's crazy, man. Imagine being a roommate with someone of that, that has those kind of tendencies. That's crazy, man.
That is crazy. And right here, they were saying that this was the apartment complex that they were at, and inside talking to was the one on the middle left.
Mm-hmm.
It looks clean. It's not cluttered. They described him as OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Let me pull up. So this is if he would have taken off, and this is my opinion, his route that he would have. Oh, there it goes. I want to
What was
go this
that?
route. This is the route. Huh?
It normally gives you like the two options depending which way you head.
This was nighttime in November. I'm fairly positive you don't want to go north and through the mountains. And then, going through North Dakota and northern Minnesota through Wisconsin. At that time of year, I don't know. I think I would have taken this route myself. And this kind of goes into play. If he took off from the victim's house and went directly home, he would have gone right directly in front of that A&W where it's been rumored that they saw a vehicle flee. Now, and we spoke about this last time. The border that they used in this incident, it's marked here by green, right? They stated that they wanted video from the Botanical Gardens all the way to Highway 95 and from Taylor Avenue down to Palouse River Drive. And then they extended the search all the way down to, and they ended the boundary at 2795. And so, or Highway 95, I'm sorry. That kind of told me that they either thought that this individual came in from the south or left from the south. What do you think? We'll start off with you, Jaime.
Yeah, man. Like you said, even the photo of the security guard camera, it might have been just a coincidence. It just could have been another car. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that other one. So there was one, the vehicle that was released from the convenience store was over here. And that vehicle was traveling westbound on Highway 8 and then turned towards the direction of the homes. Now, he lived over here. This is his apartment complex. In fact, this is his apartment. You can tell by the basketball court. And this is the area in which they were saying that he lived in. So I don't think it's related, that vehicle there. I think it's just by coincidence that it was traveling. But they had to do their due diligence. I think at the time they didn't know where the guy would maybe left towards or whatever, or what direction. And so they had to go check east of Moscow.
When you do the street view of the parents' house, do you see his car in the driveway?
I don't think it'll let you, right?
No, it's a private. It's a private
road.
Yeah, well, not a private road. It's in a gated community, and so the nearest. Let's see.
No, that's far.
This is down the road from there.
Yeah, no, the population is super small too. I think I saw it was like super small.
Yeah, it's not too big.
So like neighbors are going to be far apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I'm trying to see where's the go right here. Yeah, that's where they were all parked at.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the entrance. That's where, as far as we can see.
Look at this. Can I put something up real quick and just say?
Go ahead.
She's on the money. She's on the ball right now. That's why.
Yep. Thank you so much for our amazing moderators in the live chat. We appreciate you so much. And so this guy hadn't lived there long. He moved there after June of 2022, was there by August of 2022 because he received a citation in Moscow, Idaho by the police department for a seatbelt infraction. And so, we can say that he was at least there somewhere between June and July. June and August, he was already in the area. Yeah. That's let's just say the longest is the end of June, start of July. That's July, August, September, October, November. That's 5 months, 5 to 4 months between the time that he moved in there and then he committed this heinous crime. Do you think that there's more?
Oh man, I don't know. It's hard to tell, man. Because
I think there's more. I do.
Well, these crime that happened, it was all 4 of them. So technically, it's a mass murder.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know if he had those tendencies. How long he was trying to act on these tendencies, but it looks like these four victims was his first.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, 6 months ago, or not 6 months ago, 212 days ago was when he came out with that Reddit post looking for ex-cons so that he can kind of get an idea of, what they were thinking, what made them commit the crime, what their thoughts and feelings during the commission of the crime was. And so it's quite possible that since that moment till now that that's when it started. And this could be his first.
Could be.
There's a lot of people that are owed a lot of apologies. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so I keep seeing on there R.I.P. Barbara Walters. So I guess, and I did look it up. Barbara Walters did pass away today, guys. So.
Oh, geez. No.
Like, man,
that's crazy.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to her and Pelé, man. Pelé passed away yesterday, too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's R.I.P. Let's see. I'm gonna put in the live chat, guys, the link
I'll be right back
to the show. If you guys are interested in being a part of the show, you want to come out here, you have to have your camera on. Let us know. We'll put you in. Let's see. This thing's taking a while. It's getting back to where I'm at. There it is. Pin message. All right. So if you guys are interested in coming on the show, I put in the live chat and I've pinned it to the top, the StreamYard. You're more than welcome to click on that. You must have your camera on. We'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll let you guys go to ask your questions. And we'll do this for probably about 30 minutes or so.
Barbara Walters is always my favorite for 60 minutes, man.
No, yeah, man, I know. Well, you don't have to have the camera on if we know who you are. We'll leave it at that. If we don't know who you are, we're gonna have to.
Well, it's because we don't want to surprise, pop the camera in the middle of the interview, and it's you in your birthday suit celebrating
my birthday.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, jump on in if you guys want to come on in and maybe send us your thoughts and theories. Let us know what information you may have and what you're thinking about. Let's see. Do I have more pictures that I wanted to show you guys? Let's see. Oh, we looked at his house. This is the address listed for Bryan Kohberger in Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County, gated community. Basically what we just saw right now. And this is just how quick. It's 11 minutes to get from Washington State University to the University of Idaho. So we have somebody ready to come on out. We see you down there. Give us the thumbs up when you're ready to join. I see you in the backstage. Carl, right? Carl Coffee. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready to go. Welcome to the show, Carl. How's it going?
Pretty good. I love you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. What are your thoughts and theories on the case?
Well, my thoughts and theories are a little bit unorthodox, and I might not be popular if I express them to you guys, but I just think people are jumping the gun because he fits the mold of a creep, What if he wasn't a white male? Would we be acting like this?
Well, I mean, maybe, but what about the DNA part that they have and matched him up to the scene?
Well, it's still early on, and I'm not totally dismissing this guy, but they're already crucifying him in the message boards on Reddit and in the Facebook comments on Fox News. Isn't this America? Doesn't he deserve a free a trial? Maybe he is guilty, but pump the brakes, guys.
Yeah, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Mm-hmm. Everybody has their right in court, things of that nature. I think that I just feel that there's a lot that's out there that we don't know, and the law enforcement definitely does. And so when they make an arrest like this, I think they, especially when you look at the education that this guy has, and him going to possibly be a lawyer, and you know, a PhD major in criminology, you might want to, you know, cross your T's and dot your I's on this situation. Definitely, when it comes to every aspect of it.
Under your
You're going
head,
to be up.
he's guilty, 100%.
Do I think he's 100% guilty?
Yeah.
I don't know. Based on the information right now, what do we have? We have that he lived in the area, he left, possible DNA of his at the residence. Depending on what kind of DNA that is going to determine whether or not that's good enough. You know, if it's just touch DNA that they found there, then in my opinion, it's not high enough. But if it's blood DNA that they found on the scene or on the person's bodies, then I think that it's pretty much dead to rights on him.
Remember, now that they know who the guy, is, they can also use his, if he had his cell phone on him, ping him, see where he was at the time, you know, get his location and go from there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so I'm sure they have quite a bit out there. But it's one of those things where we won't know until they release more information. They seem like they have quite a bit. You know,
Fair.
The Chief Fry in his press conference today, he made it seem like they were pretty confident in the case.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't give us a motive or anything like that. They were kind of vague with it. But even before the press release, like maybe a week ago, they were saying that they had some. Well, not that they actually said they had someone, but they made it seem like they knew who it was, and they were going for a conviction, not just the arrest.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hey, thanks for sacrificing your Friday night drunk turkey nation. Big fans, keep it up.
Thank you
so
so much.
Have a good night.
Appreciate you, Carl. You have a good night. Thank you. Before we get to the next guy, Austin, let us know with a thumbs up. We can see you down there backstage if you're ready. When you're ready, we got it.
JT Rosen, thank you for the $10 donation. He also has a question.
Heard an attorney on Fox say BK has a cloak of innocence until proven guilty. Keeping him locked up without bail makes him look pretty effing guilty. Yeah. Is this just treatment for the accused? Sometimes it is, you know, based on the type of crime and the flight risk that you may be available is when they won't do the bail and the nature of the crime that you've been accused of. That'll leave a very large bail or one that's not there. But if they have some pretty strong evidence, that'll also be indicative that they think that their guy's pretty guilty. But we appreciate you for that $10 super chat. Go ahead, Big Blue.
I'll say one thing is he already ran once. If he's able to post bail, he'll run again.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, Austin? How's it going? Welcome to
So
the show.
I seen the article on CNN talking about how they matched his DNA. But my question is, I haven't heard one investigator or anybody investigating the case say anything about matching the DNA to him or.
Right. You know, outside of that, that's the only thing that they have released. That they matched. Let me see if I can go find that again. That they matched his DNA to the crime scene. How they found it hasn't been disclosed yet. I'm pretty sure that'll be disclosed once. Basically, what Chief Fry stated was that once they get him to Idaho, then they're going to release more. I reckon they're probably going to release the actual probable cause.
But my question is, how did they get that? Nobody investigating has ever said that.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of what we were trying to speculate as to how they got that a little while ago. We were saying that perhaps, you know, they had it on file because he was a security guard at a school, at a high school. They may have had his fingerprints and his DNA on file due to that. And also his sister works for the state of New Jersey. They may have something on file as well. There's some articles apparently that are out there that have said it was a genealogy match, meaning that somebody, probably a relative of his, did something and they were able to match it, whether, you know, 21andMe ancestry, something like that, and they were able to match it to a family member. But I'm going to try to look that up real quick as far as that goes, because I know that some folks have been saying that was in an article that's already been out. I haven't found it though.
Also, can anybody confirm if he got in through an unlocked door?
Not yet.
Not yet. Nobody's confirmed how he made entry. We have our speculation about that. You look at the fact that Xana's dad had fixed the locks the week before the incident had occurred. Oh, I think I can hear us in the background. Do you mind turning that down a little bit, Austin? But in my opinion, then I'm gonna mute him just for a second. In my opinion,
but I'm watching you guys on the TV. That's probably why.
Yeah. I could hear myself. I was like, oh man, I hear myself. Yeah, I'm gonna look up why that, where the DNA thing came about. And we'll try to figure that out.
My only other question is, I know that the gas station where they caught the car is like a mile away, so I'm just not sure how they know exactly where that car was coming from. So, I mean, that car could have came from anywhere within a mile.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's possible. I think that they have a lot of visual, probably ring camera and surveillance that can follow this vehicle in and out of where it was coming from. Let me see. It looks like you're having trouble hearing us. You're gonna have to put it on speaker.
I'm on my phone. I had my TV on, and that's the noise you were hearing in the background. I'm on my phone, but watching it on the TV.
No, understood. Yeah, to me, I think it was. How can I explain this? I mean, what are your thoughts?
That's all I had, guys. I appreciate your podcast. I like watching it.
Thank you so much, Austin. You have
Peace
a great
out.
night. Peace out. So, what are your thoughts, Jaime, on what he had to say?
On the vehicle?
Yeah.
Man, like we said earlier, that vehicle could probably be unrelated. It could have just been a coincidence. I'm not sure where. I'm sure the law enforcement do have a lot more videos that they're not releasing to the public. Even from the beginning, like a day after the crime. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I think Blue had to go to work, y'all. So if you saw him take off, that's where he ended up going. So
yeah, he booked it.
Dredri, I believe. If you're ready, give us a thumbs up.
We'll see how you say that name.
Yeah. How do you pronounce your name? I apologize.
That's okay. It's Deirdre.
Deirdre. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. That Carl guy. Come on. The FBI are not going to arrest this man if he, in fact, did not kill these people. All the way in Pennsylvania. Right. Come on.
Yeah. Right. I think there's a little bit more of evidence that's out there that believes that he did it. But, innocent people have been arrested before. It has happened. I find it hard to believe in this situation. I'm waiting for the actual probable cause affidavit, which will be released. Right now, they're holding it. The only one that's been released right now is the probable cause to arrest this man in Pennsylvania, right? And so the only thing they need there is just a warrant. And so that's basically what it's saying, is that we had a warrant for his arrest. Once he gets to Idaho and he faces the judge there in Idaho, then that probable cause affidavit is going to be released. And at that point,
I cannot wait. Is anyone else excited about this? Like, we've been waiting so long for all these details, and we're finally going to get a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. We're finally going to get a little bit of information. This guy, we said it, early on, the longer that this case kind of takes, the more I feel that this person is it's the further from the circle that this guy is. If this guy was an immediate,
100%.
If he was an immediate friend or family member or any of these type of, scenarios, I think he would have been discovered early on. And so, the longer it took, the likely that it was somebody outside of that inner circle.
Yeah,
definitely.
What do you think about the DNA evidence? Do you think that they, how do you think, it's possible they were following him for a few days. It's possible they waited for him to throw something out, pick it up, and then go check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. They were quiet for a couple of days. There wasn't a lot going on. And then when the family went ahead and planned, I think, Kaylee's memorial service, that to me was a clue, because they said they weren't going to do that until they had a killer, because they didn't want him to show up at the funeral or at the memorial service.
Right.
So
makes sense.
yeah, right. And then for them to be cleaning the house too was a clue that something was happening. So I think they've known for a while. I think they were just waiting to tighten it up. So maybe it was DNA, or maybe they had some other kind of evidence. But that's all I have to say. So thank you. You guys are awesome.
Oh,
thank you
so
thank
much.
you.
Carl guy is whack.
Well, we try not to, go lean one way or another when folks come on. We appreciate everybody that comes on.
Yeah, we appreciate your opinions.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we
Thank you.
appreciate you. You have a good
Bye.
night.
Thanks,
Bye.
you too. Bye.
Great. We had 3 great individuals that have come in and talked to us. We appreciate all of you guys that have come in. I'm looking at this online as far as the DNA stuff. Let's see. Grad student in a nearby school. Oh, also, last night or this morning, I don't know how true it is. I saw it that Ethan's brother apparently had came on and one of these social medias and said that they got news late last night around 10:56 that something major was going to be happening. And so they've been watching this guy. They've been following him. Let's see. There's Arizona's family. Let's see what this says right here. Police matched DNA evidence from scene where 4 Idaho students were killed to the suspect. Police have made an arrest in the murder of the 4 college students in Idaho. They were, let's get that part. We're already not getting monetized.
Yeah.
We're already getting pushed down. Authorities arrested 28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger in Pennsylvania on Friday. Kohberger is a criminal justice grad student at Washington State University. Lives in Pullum, just 15 minutes from the home where the students and the incident occurred. CNN reports that, it's just saying that CNN reports the DNA matched back to the crime scene. Those detectives are staying tight-lipped of any possible motives. One of the victims, Xana Kernodle, was from Avondale. Arizona's family tried talking to her father today, but was unable to. This isn't anything other than just saying that CNN stated that they had reported that. Yeah. Apparently he had no criminal history, no car registered in his own name. So the vehicle was not in his name.
It's probably the parents.
Yeah, probably the parents, or maybe even the sister, like Blue had mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it could be.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to release anything right now until he gets extradited back to Idaho.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, because I saw in the live chat that a lot of folks were saying that there's been news reports on it being a genealogy DNA thing, and
it could be, but we can't find that on to be confirmed. But I don't even know they're gonna make that public yet.
No, not at all. Not at all. It sure is. Man, it's either way, man. It's once they point the dots into how this situation had occurred, I think that it's gonna be crazy. So, how do you think he made entry? That was one of the questions. That was the caller previously, or the person that joined. He said, "How do you think he got in? If he wasn't a friend, he didn't know the code. He probably didn't know the code to that house." I'm still thinking that window on the second floor. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think that's gonna be our best bet. I mean, the people who were in there was Xana
and Ethan.
So he probably ran into them in the right through the window. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think it was a sliding door, because I don't know if those stools were there. Like, a lot of people are saying that the police put the stools there, but I don't think the police will actually move around possible evidence. And because I think that probably one of the roommates probably put them there knowing that the lock was broken. And he probably saw that could have been the number one way to get in, but when he saw that, he probably went for option B. He found another route to go through.
Yeah, because we looked at it, and I'll bring it up real quick. That's the wrong one. Let's see. We looked at, first and foremost, going back here, it's well lit at night. Let me close this down. Let's see. I have them all together. So you have the stools back here. Where did I have it at? I know I had a picture of it where there was a video or an image of the stools that were blocking this. There's some stools here that you can see on the drone footage that are blocking this exit. In my opinion, the entry and the exit could have been in a. Well, look, you see that, Jaime? That's on the window.
That's tape also.
Yeah, that's taped there.
I don't think you will make that entry through there, man.
That's too. Man.
I mean, unless he jumped through that window, because it's like at least like what 7.5 feet off the ground, I think.
Yeah, well, he was an athletic guy apparently. I mean, he was into kickboxing. This is the only thing that I found out of the pictures of inside the house, right? That could kind of equal out to why I thought maybe potentially this could have been the window. Was that you had this pot with dirt around it, and then you had this bowl and on top of a plate that just looked out of place. Like it's on the edge. Like I don't understand why that's there. That looks out of place to me. You know, and if somebody climbed through there, that's plenty big to get in.
Yeah, maybe not for me, but yeah.
Well, yeah, this guy was pretty. I mean, he was like 6 foot, 185 pounds.
Yeah, he's a lot thinner than me. I'll tell you that. I'm 6'1", 250. I'm a bigger dude, bigger, heavy set dude. You know?
Yeah. This guy's also 28 years old, so a lot younger than us. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else that stands out from here. So look, this is where we're kind of saying it's a pretty big jump because you have the decline here, right? And I know a lot of people think, oh, the sliding door, but there was some stools there as the drone footage was getting there. On the drone footage as the forensic science team, the CSI team were getting there.
Yeah.
Getting on.
And plus, like, even like you said, the lights were on and everything. He would have plugged all that stuff to make himself more, more discreet.
Yeah, you would have thought. Definitely would have thought. Let's see. And so this is the forensic team. In fact, you know what? I'll pull it out real quick and pull it up and we'll look at it real quick.
We need to. I want these FBI investigators to look into the Madalena Kojikari case. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. Did they release the parents?
Not that I know of yet. Not that I know of. But she needs to be found. She's been missing for more than 28 days, I want to say.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So this is the forensic team as they're arriving. And somebody told me that this was maybe the second day that they were out there, maybe the third day because there was no snow. I found pictures of the incident of the day of and the breaking news newscast of the day of. And there definitely was snow on the ground. It just wasn't a lot. It was very much like the snow that you see here. And so let's see.
They don't. You don't think you don't need a weapon, right? Like the weapon to use to seek a conviction, right?
Nah, but it sure would help.
It would help. So I've been seeing that some. I don't know where I saw it. It might have been here in the chat. I'm not really sure. But they found the sheath of a knife, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Huh? Maybe. Now we saw the body cam footage of when the police came, and this ladder was laid down on the ground. Right? We talked about this area of the of this ledge looking odd. Now, a lot of people say they use it to get up on this ledge. However, I feel that they would have gone through this window. And correct me if I'm wrong, but does it not look like this window is still slightly open? Look at the angle here. It doesn't look like it's completely closed like the other windows. It's not straight. It's curved.
Yeah, it sure kind of does look like it, right?
It looks distorted. It looks Like that's not a straight line. That's not a straight line. Like these look
fairly straight.
Yeah, fairly straight. Like they're closed. This one looks kind of odd. And so, we talked about how, and I'll see if I can pull the picture up because I know I don't have it anymore. I should have kept it. Let's see if it gets closer. So you can see where there's a fade to the dust, right? And, you can tell on the other, like across the ledge, you're going to see a line where the water drips over this is probably clogged. And so the water comes over and drips down. But you can see a clear, definite line between the dust and the white area of the ledge where the water built up was pushing the dirt. And there's a defined line because that's where the dirt would build up there. Over here, it's faded out as if somebody either slid on or slid off this area. And the clean part of this goes all the way to the wall. And for the life of me, if you're getting up on this ledge, I would assume you're going through this window. And so you see how clean that area is relative to everything else. It just kind of doesn't sit well with me. Now, back here, and here's my theory, y'all. I speculate that the bed is facing elongated right here, right? And my assumption is that Ethan's on this side of the bed and Xana's on this side of the bed. My assumption is that the guy came in, attacked Ethan first, pulled him off the bed. He fell down facing the wall and then attacked Xana as he got on the bed. That would explain the blood that's down here. And then the 911 call was a unconscious male on the second floor. This house has been renovated since its beginning. My guesstimation is at one point that this house had carpet. And so if somebody was on the ground facing the direction of the wall, bleeding out, causing the blood to come out that direction, if they couldn't make entry into the door, there's a possibility that there's a crease beneath the door in the floorway, especially, we've seen what it looks like. It was tile or hardwood laminate flooring. If they had carpet, then that crease between the door and the floor frame would be wider. So they potentially could have been able to see into the room and saw Ethan laying on the floor.
Yeah.
Not seeing any of the damage that he had occurred during the assault.
Yeah.
Called brother, called people, called friends, called Ethan's brother to come by, like, hey, we can't get in. It's locked. And Ethan's on the ground. They get there, they can't get in, so they call the police, do a welfare check. That's how they assume that somebody's passed out because they can see underneath the door frame that somebody's passed out. Now, if you go look at the press release, it stated that the unconscious person that was being called for was one of the victims on the second floor. It wasn't one of the roommates. It wasn't one of the friends. It wasn't somebody else that showed up. It clearly states it was a victim on the second floor, indicating that it was either Xana or Ethan, not anybody else. So all of this, he was on the ground, he was in the hallway. That's complete bull crap. It says, the coroner had came out and said that they were attacked in their sleep and that it went fairly quickly. It doesn't say that he was walking in the hallway, got startled, none of those things. All of that is 100% speculation and not true. My guess is that, I heard a report early on in this investigation, and I've been looking for it. I can't find it, so that's why I haven't really put it out there. But that it was reported that the door was locked behind Madison and Kaylee, behind the killer as he left. I would assume if he went into Ethan and Xana's room first, then he probably did the same thing. And if they were locked out and they couldn't see they could see underneath the door frame, that would explain and answer all the questions that I have. It'll answer why did they think that the person was unconscious? Because they saw him on the floor and they didn't see the blood because he was facing the wall. That's why the blood is exiting out of the back of the house. It had to be a significant amount of blood for it to do that and at close radius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it still has to go through the flashing underneath the wood and everything.
Right, exactly. And so, in my opinion, I believe that Ethan was attacked first, fatally injured, stabbed probably twice, maybe 3 times, pulled off the bed, The old guy went after Xana that direction, pulled him off the bed, threw him facing towards the back of the residence. I don't want everybody to get all dizzy. And so here you can see that you have the bar stools blocking the exit here, or the entrance. Now, in my opinion, and it's gonna pan this direction, watch. I don't think anybody entered this area through this window, and I'll tell you why right now. Let's see. Once it pans to this direction, I want to make sure. All right. Yeah, nobody went in through there. There would be scuff marks from shoes against the wall from where you climb in and you kick the wall to get in. There's no scuff marks. There's no way somebody entered into there without kicking the wall. No way. Not that high, or putting something here. And if somebody put something there, it would still be there. So yeah, I don't think this was an entry point. There would be scuff marks on the wall there. And here's the red substance. We believe that is potentially blood here on the back side of this bedroom window, or bedroom door. Now here they pan down here. Mm-hmm. Perhaps somebody did go out there, open the window, maybe gave up and jumping in that direction and jumped down here, because it looks like potential footprints there, and you can see the red substance there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jay Psych, with the $2 super chat saying Psych Meds, watch. I bet he's on them. There's a good possibility of that. Mm-hmm. Paul Bird with the $10 super chat. We appreciate this. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. And so,
do you think after he committed these crimes, he go through the front door?
I think he exited the front door. Now, here's the thing. We assumed that this guy was there late, maybe got triggered, was upset because of whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. Kaylee, them upsetted them, whatever. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe he'd been stalking them. Maybe he'd been watching them. And he broke into Ethan and Xana's bedroom through that ladder before they arrived and was hiding somewhere in that house, possibly in their closet. So we have Aaron in. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready to rock and roll. We can't hear you, by the way. Okay. All right. We're going to be putting you up on the show. How's it going, Aaron? Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show. How you doing?
Oh,
I muted you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's muted. Hold on.
You're muted. All right. We pulled her back out. I'm not sure. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready to go.
That was weird.
That was weird. So, $4.99 super chat says authorities identified the suspect with the help of genetic genealogy. Source says from CNN, Jen Caceres. All right. Look that up. We need to look that up real quick. I'm going to Google that.
I think she left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it just muted her right away. That was weird.
That was weird. Yeah, we couldn't hear anything. We apologize, Aaron. I'm gonna Google this.
Ask her to jump back on. Maybe it'll work this time.
For sure. CNN, Jean Casares, genetic gene. Y'all. All right, let's see what this says. All right.
What's that noise?
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, I don't hear anything.
That was weird. I could hear it.
So this says the suspect in the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students was identified with the help of genetic genealogy. A source with knowledge in the case tells CNN unknown DNA was found in Idaho during the course of the investigation was taken through DNA public database to find a potential match for the family members, the source said. Once potential family matches were found, subsequent investigate work by law enforcement led to the identification of the suspect, Bryan Kohberger, per source. Wow. All right, Aaron, let us know when you're ready. We see you there. Give us the thumbs up. Just put your thumb, because we can't hear you. All right, I see your thumb.
I hope you can hear me.
Now we can. Once you're in the show, we can hear you. When you're backstage, we can. How's it going? Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. What are your thoughts on the case?
I don't know. It depends on what part of it. What are you guys focusing on right now?
Right now, we're just, hearing what everybody has to say. We've kind of gone through everything that we've talked about when it comes to this young man. We're trying to identify, any, how they found him, why they found him. Apparently, this was a genetic genealogy. I'm gonna actually Google that to get the definition so that we are 100% certain on the meaning behind it. I'm pretty sure we do know, but it's about the family members. So, what are your thoughts? You think they got the guy?
There's just so much information I'm trying to keep up on, and it's exciting because the last handful of days we've been kind of like waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for something to happen. But on the other hand, I don't know, you were saying something and then I got distracted with the tech of it. But I do remember one thing that I wanted to mention just in general, and I'll leave this at that. It will probably mean nothing, so just throw it down the trash can. But the two guys names that came out this morning, pretty much within the 5 minutes before the real name drops, there were a couple of people, Dylan and David or
Justin.
something. Yeah, and I was looking into them, and they actually were both arrested this morning for grand theft auto. And I think that they both were arrested in Idaho, or one was arrested in Boise or Meridian, Idaho, and the other was arrested in Boise or in Pennsylvania. I don't know. I got confused because I was like searching things, too many things this morning, and I couldn't go back to it because it just became a snowball today. And it's like, okay, squirrel, like everywhere. But I just remember that I did see these two other guys, and I thought it was really interesting because there were a couple of the reports that I found from the police that were putting them docked in at like 4:55 a.m. or like 5 a.m.-ish. And then there were others that were docking them at, like, maybe they got to the jail and were actually, put into the system at 5 a.m., but it looked like they might have been dropped in at 3 a.m., which would make sense. Like, they jumped on everybody at the same time. So I'm just I didn't explain myself originally, but you know how the guy, when he got caught, he's like, did anyone else get,
right,
caught yet or something like that? And it was very weird. So I thought to myself, maybe those two random names that came out, they may have nothing to do with this. So I don't want to I don't want to put them on the line, but I just thought it was very weird. If both of those names came out, and I looked on the Vibe system, you can look up arrests and everything on there, and they were both on there. And so it was both grand theft auto for those. So maybe they were not the people that perpetrated, they didn't murder these people, but maybe they had something to do with stealing a car or something.
Right.
It may not be anything, and you can throw it down the trash, but I thought that was interesting. So that's all I got, although I do have other thoughts. But anyway, it's first time actually on the screen here, so I feel a little bit awkward, but thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
It is true that Brian Ensign did come out and said that there was that he had asked, was anybody else arrested as well? And then, I saw the reports of, I think it was Justin Elkin or Lincoln or something like that. I'm trying to look for it. I put Justin Idaho, and it doesn't come out. And so I'm going to put arrest and see what comes out.
I know every time, like today, it keeps spinning, and every time it's just squirrel. It's squirrel, squirrel, squirrel.
Yeah. And you talk about being nervous, man. You should see our first videos.
Yeah, we were super nervous coming out doing this. Yeah, it happens. It happens. And we appreciate you coming on. I'm going to try to research Justin. I looked into him earlier. I couldn't find anything that connected him. That's why I didn't put anything into it. But I did see that rumor there earlier today.
That's why I started with maybe we can just put it in the trash can. But I thought it was interesting that, what's his name? Bryan, when he was arrested, said, "Did you arrest anyone else?" That's kind of weird, right? So
yeah. You're absolutely right.
We won't know. They're not going to give us this information, so we're gonna be pretty much driving ourselves crazy until then, and that's just how it's gonna be. Did you see T-Rev's interview with that weird guy though?
I haven't. Have you, Jaime?
I did, but I mean, I don't know. They were saying that was him calling in, but I don't know if that's true or not.
It kind of, I don't know. I think it kind of it flips me a little bit when I listen back to that, because it's this guy calling in saying that these frat guys were asking him questions about how to get away with murder. But the thing is that this guy that they just arrested would be the person asking them. And then he dropped that Reddit post asking, trying to pull people in. He wanted to interview people for that kind of stuff. So it really is a little bit twisted when you listen to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's those individuals out there that want to take credit for these kind of crimes. A lot of serial killers do that too. Take credit for other crimes that they not commit.
Yeah,
if you guys haven't seen it though, take a listen. I will let you get back to your scheduled programming. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Have a good night.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like when I found or saw that the what do you call it? Where this guy was hiding at, and then I found this information. Let me put it up. Let me look for it real quick. I found this information the other night. We had a caller call in from a 570 number, and then I saw this right here, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" I went back to go listen to it. Nothing to do with it. But I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, right. Imagine
we get somebody kind of close to this. I went back to go listen to it. It ended up not being anything connected. It's just somebody who lived extremely close to this situation.
Yeah.
That called us in last week at the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. I'll leave it at that.
So you telling me
not last week, 2 days ago.
So you're telling me there's drunk turkeys near where this guy is from?
Yeah. We got a phone call from a 570 number, and I was like, I went and looked at my phone, and then I was like, man, could this be? And I did a reverse search on it. It's not the same. I got a little bit excited, but we also had somebody who had claimed that we also had somebody who I didn't realize it during the show, but last time we were on, somebody was claiming to be Jack D in our live chat. So
I saw that. I went back and I saw it too.
Yeah. And so I was just like, oh yeah, look, super fan is like, yeah, he did. I was all excited. This is my wife, by the way, y'all. Because I was like, look, somebody called. I showed her the phone, and I was like, I was like, somebody called from this area code. What are the chances that somebody calls from this area code? And it ended up not being the same. I went back to listen because we had like 4 or 5 callers around that time. So I went back and listened to each one of them to try to see if any of them sounded like something. And I think I narrowed it down to one person, and they're not related to the case. But I was freaking out for a second.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that happened to Howard Stern. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, he had a serial killer call in, right?
Yeah. That's crazy to have, this kind of opportunities where you can actually call like a radio station or even being on YouTube and be someone that's done crimes like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
And here's the thing. This guy was a criminologist or studied to be a criminologist. There's a good opportunity that this dude was all over this. He may have been watching our show, watching everybody's show, T-Rev's show. Shout out to him.
Is he subbed? Yes.
Well, if our sub goes down by 1, we know why.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got somebody to block out. Block.
I don't know. I didn't see it. No. You told me later.
It was those bots.
Oh,
yeah. So, in my opinion, there's a possibility that this guy, he was a true crime buff. Or a criminologist into the crime. He was searching out people who were interested in that have done crimes before. And so, in my opinion, I'm thinking that there's a possibility he's been watching, a lot of these, YouTube shows, a lot of the news, a lot of the information that's been going out on this suspect. And that kind of leads me to believe, remember, the police department was pretty nonchalant about going on vacation and taking time off. I wonder if that was trying to put this guy at ease, thinking, oh, you know what? They're going on a holiday break. They're not looking for me right now. I can relax a little bit. What do you think about that?
That could be it, man. Like, it was a perfect opportunity, especially because the victims from the house, you saying that they have mostly parties all the time there, and he picked a day that nobody was around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they weren't doing anything, and like especially because of the holidays, everybody was leaving. If it wasn't a holiday, I think law enforcement would have been on him a lot sooner. Would have been arrest made a lot sooner too.
Yeah, for sure. Karen Christ says, at Daniel, another channel suggested that the guy in the bar might be BK with a beard. Can you put a beard and a mustache on him? I can definitely do that and try to do that after the show and see if we can come up with that. But that was something that I had brought up to you, right? That he looked pretty clean shaven. Maybe he had tried to change his appearance here recently, and that could have been one of the things because he did look fairly clean shaved.
And the not the mug shot, I guess, the one that they just took today. It looks like he has like a scar right underneath his lip.
I noticed that too.
Might have one right here on the side too, right here by the cheek.
Yeah, I'm gonna
kind of looks like it, but I don't know if it's been. When did this happen? November.
Yeah, he could have gotten scarred.
Yeah, but I believe the one under his lip looks a little fresh.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. I just gotta. I accidentally deleted it. I don't know where do I delete that picture. Let's see.
One of the callers asked us if we were excited because of the arrest. I'm excited for the family. You know what I mean?
I am too. If for the family to get some closure on this, to not be suspicious. I mean, I know that these guys had look at, they were starting to look at people, nearby as far as like some of the other guys that were cleared as well. As far as the family goes, they had questioned, if certain people had gotten cleared too soon, things of that nature. And, the longer this was going, I could only imagine the more speculation that they would have had, at that time.
Can you put the StreamYard on the chat again?
What do you mean?
Oh, somebody's asking to put
it should be pinned at the top. If you look at the top of it, but I'll put it back in. Not a big deal. I see somebody in, but you're gonna have to turn your camera on, Uncle Ben, before we put you back on.
Uncle Benny.
Yeah, Uncle Benny. And so we just want to make sure nobody's showing any parts that we don't want to see. And so like I see this there and this redness here, but I mean, this has been over a month. That does look kind of odd there.
Yeah, I mean, he was a boxer, so a lot of people are seeing that, his nose looks like it's been broken. I mean, he was doing boxing, kickboxing when that could have been from that.
Yeah,
or it could be natural.
Yeah, I've looked at some other pictures of him. His nose looked kind of like that earlier prior to this incident. I noticed he's not wearing clothes. outside of this vest,
That's
usually an indication that this guy's on S watch.
Yeah,
if I say that word, we'll definitely it'll shut us down.
Yeah,
he's on S watch. That's usually an indication of that. They take away anything that you can do to hurt yourself. Man, this guy has a cold stare, yo.
Yeah, on a live watch, yes.
On a live watch, there you go. And so, but he has a cold stare. Man, this is a potential face of us.
Sunken eyes, his ears a little bit lower. All right, that could be it, man. Hopefully they have enough.
So I got a private chat says I can't. Oh yeah, I jumped off. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't let anybody come on without seeing their picture at first, just to make sure you're not doing anything inappropriate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's happened before, man. I'm sorry. Let's see, not to us, but it's happened before to other channels, and we don't want to be one of them.
We don't want to start a trend.
Yeah. Let's see. Man, this is crazy, man. But they busted in on him at 3:00 in the morning, apparently, and there was a SWAT team, and so.
What about the phone number, just for him?
I'd have to switch everything out.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Because I don't think. Yeah, I can only edit mics. I can't edit the camera. It'd be one thing if I could edit the camera setting and purposely keep it out, but he can switch it out if he chooses to. I'm sorry, man. I apologize, but we will be taking calls next week in reference to a lot of things. We wanted to try this StreamYard first because, the last times we've taken calls, Jaime and Big Blue, y'all can't hear him or the callers can't hear them. And sometimes we talk on top of each other. And so,
yeah.
I'm sure the Corner Club can confirm with the video footage if he was in there. Yeah. And that kind of goes back. Why did, we asked that question. Why do you think they released that image?
That's still right instead of the video itself.
Yeah.
They were saying he was back, the black jacket guy right there by the wall.
That guy?
No, the other one.
That guy?
Yeah, they were saying that's supposedly him, but I don't know if that's true.
That guy's wearing glasses. That guy.
What's this guy's?
Yeah, this guy has what looks like shorter black hair. We have 9mm in lipstick. Now we're going to allow her to come on because she's one of our moderators, and she's also a friend of the show, and we know that she doesn't have her camera working, and so welcome to the show, 9mm in lipstick. How you doing? Can you hear us? Hello? We can hear. Oh, you're muted yourself. I see you muted. Whenever you're ready to talk, just unmute yourself and come back in.
Well, I don't think she has a good connection.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like.
So I just wanted to say that when somebody comes up on screen.
Yeah, that was not coming in very well. If you don't mind, just okay, yeah. What we can do is, I see your comment in the
just saw it too.
What we can do is if you want to come on and you don't want to use your camera, you have to show us yourself first.
In the backstage area.
Yeah, in the backstage area. Then you can turn off your camera, and then we'll bring you in. So, Coffee, if you want to come back on, we can do it that way. We just want to make sure that you're not going to, expose anything. Let's see.
Who was it? Uncle Benny was
yeah,
it,
Uncle
right?
Benny. Yeah, Uncle Ben. So, yeah, if you want to come back in, you can. So that looks like a female. You have two males here, a male that looks like JD.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jack Showalter there. You have another male here. This guy's hair is thinning out. I don't think this is the same guy. The other guy looks like his hair was not too bad.
Yeah.
There's Adam. This is the owner of the bar. So this guy don't look like him. Maybe that guy. We can't see his face.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a picture from another on the monitor, so it's like kind of hard.
Right, exactly. And so, thank you so much, 9mm, for coming in and letting us know that.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
giving us that option of doing that. So, yeah, if you want to come on and you don't want to show your face, you can do that, but we have to see you backstage first, and then we'll you can turn off your camera. We just want to make sure that you're not doing anything inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's insane, man. I don't know, man. It's creepy, man. Because this guy, I remember Steve saying while interviewed at one point that these girls were targeted, and they talked to some neighbors and some people that were nearby, and they said that they would be less scared if it wasn't targeted, because all they did was go to a bar and do what normal people do.
Randomly,
what did they do to target themselves? And it's scary how right he is. Once you figure out that this person may have targeted them because he may have been watching them. We have to realize who we're talking about. This is a psychologist major who has I think a master's in psychology or a bachelor's in psychology is what I read.
Yeah.
He's interested in the criminal mind, things of that nature. He probably watched these folks for a while. Figured out what their habits. Yeah, definitely.
That's like BTK stuff, man. He stalk his prey pretty much.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think one of his first crimes. I think it was a whole family.
Yeah,
I think it was four four people: the mom, dad, brother, and sister. If I can recall that.
Now, as I break down this case in my mind, do you still think that Kaylee was the prime target?
I have no idea, man. I'll be honest, man. This took us This took us like a whole different level to it came out of left field, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think so. I think it was just. I want to say it was random, in a way, but he kind of scoped out what he was doing too.
Yeah. I don't think she was the primary target. There's been speculation that there's been a lot of speculation that I've seen out there about a Ring camera, a couple of Ring cameras picking up a loud scream at 3:38 in the morning, and that they speculate that he attacked Maddie first in that bedroom, and that Kaylee screamed and he silenced her and got scared and ran out. My thing is, if he got scared, right, because of the scream, I don't think he would be having, he would have done it very quickly and left, right? Because he got scared. It sounds that Kaylee, that is, was the most brutally injured. Probably took a little bit of time to do that. And so if she was the one that screamed and he was startled, I feel that he would have, done what he did, like to the other, members of this incident, and left very quickly. So that's the one thing that didn't jive with me, so to speak, was if he was leaving in a rush, then he would have rushed through that as well, in fear of getting caught, if that's what the rumor says. And so is it possible? Yeah. He heard the scream and still, brutally attacked her and to a more severe degree than the other ones.
Yeah.
And then left in a rush. It probably doesn't take. I mean, I don't know. I've never done. I don't know how long this incident would have taken with each of these individuals, but I couldn't imagine more than maybe a few seconds each.
Yeah. There's a lot of people saying that he was following the victims, but I don't know if they were after the fact or after the crime or before it. You know what I mean?
I think all those. There's a lot of. I've seen that too.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: there's no posts attached to those profiles. I went to go look for them. I
Mhm.
found every single one of them that was following them. There was like 5 or 6 of them,
Yeah.
and none of them have a post before, like at all. I think one of them has one post of something. I couldn't open it,
Mhm.
but none of them have a post whatsoever, and so that leads me to believe they're fake and just recently, put in
Mhm.
there. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. I mean, when I went to Instagram, you can see like there's at least like 6 of his pictures up already.
Yeah,
Like
no, and
fake profiles.
Yeah, and there's more profiles being created as this goes
Yeah,
along.
definitely.
But man, this is a crazy situation. We're gonna go ahead and put a stop to the sharing the stream, so we're not gonna be answering any more. Folks coming in. We're gonna be closing this down here pretty soon. But I encourage everybody to hit that like and subscribe button. Also join the membership. We do members only videos that talk about the backstage stuff and are more of our speculation and things of that nature. You can find that where you hit subscribe. It'll say join. We're going to have a lot of speculation on our members only show tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be that's more of our speculation channel where we talk about these theories and how they could potentially, be involved. On our regular channel, we just talk about the evidence. Let's see.
Oh, there he is. Boom.
You were right. The ones that we drink are like, if you go with the Bird Dog, it's like what?
My favorite?
About $18 a bottle. It's not that
Yeah,
expensive.
it's not that bad. For Blue, it might be bad. You're gonna have to like buy him like 4 because he's a good drinker.
Huh. So
what's going on?
I just got from the live chat that there's a possible family link to Kaylee by marriage. That Lost Souls True Crime is working on it now. I haven't checked that Lost True. You know what? I have seen them. They're good stuff. We'll
Thank you,
keep
Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Oh man, thank you so much. We appreciate that. So we're gonna look into this possible connection between the marriage thing. If there's something there, that'll be interesting. I went and looked through. Let me see. Little sneak peek into what we do on the.
Let me
wrong
see.
button.
You're asking me what I have in your background. In my background, they're Funko Pops. I collect Funko Pops. Me and my son collect Funko Pops, and as you can see, we're kind of obsessed with them. So
Let's see. Let's do some investigation. All right. Now this person here doesn't have anybody. This is Michael Kohberger.
Yep.
We couldn't figure out where he was at, but I thought I had saw something about people working in New Jersey or something like that. I'm not sure if this is the guy. I better take that off.
Yeah.
But I had seen something about him being in New Jersey at one point. I'm trying to figure out where I saw that. I think this was it. He did a review on this place, which is in the town of Clifton, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got the New Jersey connection. He did a review here. And so, does it mean that they're related, that he's his father or anything like that? I don't know. Apparently the sister lives in New Jersey, is a mental health professional out of New Jersey. And this guy checked in here and rated this place that's also in New Jersey.
I'm gonna lie, that looks pretty nice, man.
Yeah, it does. It does. And so, putting kind of 2 and 2 together might make me think that this is a guy, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we can research that later.
Yeah, we definitely are. Thank you for Changed Forever. We appreciate you being
Thank you.
one of the news members.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we're trying to figure out, is there a possibility that this guy is thank you so much. That's funny. She does with me every day. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, you know, when I saw that, and then remember I told you there was a New Jersey connection somewhere?
Yeah.
That was a New Jersey connection that I saw with this guy with the same name. Could it be something? Maybe, maybe not. But if there's a connection there, you know, let me go back and look. If there's a connection with with the family, I'm gonna look at this guy's friends list and just type in Goncalves and see if anything shows up.
It took you 2 hours and 5 minutes to say the word.
To say the word what?
The M word.
Oh no. I think I said it earlier.
Oh, okay.
But this thing's not gonna go anywhere. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm in New Jersey. Albright is 20 minutes away between Wind Creek and Mount Airy casinos. Man, that's close, man. That's extremely close. Wait, near between Wind Creek. So do you have any what do you call it? Final thoughts or anything?
Not really. Just, man, it's like I said earlier. It's like I'm excited for the family. You know what I mean? They finally can start their closure. You know, like knowing that this guy is off the streets. If he is this guy, you know what I mean? Because obviously he's innocent to proven guilty. But yeah, they can finally start getting some closure if that's the case.
I agree, man. I agree. I'm in the same boat as you. I think that the family needed this closure. I couldn't imagine what they were going through this entire time for the last 7 weeks or so. You know, having something heinous like this happen to somebody so close into their family, and then you know, something like this to just drag out, and then everybody pointing fingers, man. You know, everybody that had a finger pointed in their direction. You know, there's this folks at the fraternity house, you know, being accused of being on steroids and lovers and things of that nature that clearly aren't true. Gosh, it's insane, man. It's insane. But I want to say, you know, there's some closure. Justice is starting. We're going to continue to follow this case as more breaking news comes through. We're going to be checking in on it. We'll be reporting that to you guys. I want to say thank you to everybody that's been in the live chat. I want to say thank you to everybody that is, you know, came on the show and participated, and everybody that, you know, gave us a donation and or a
membership.
And a membership. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Any final words, Hyman?
No. I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's, and be safe out there. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, do not do that, and be safe. And here are our members. There's quite a few of you guys now, so not going to go through every one of them, but we will be putting something out so that way we can identify you guys.
Yeah.
Have a happy New Year. Be safe out there. And yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Drink one for us. Drink one for us.
Drink one for us while you're out there. Take a cheers. Peace out, guys.
Later, man.
Yeah, it's such a crazy situation, man.
Yeah, it totally is. But hopefully it's the start of a whole